Hello again, everybody. It's Eric with Better Every Shave. Back today with a double header type video. I've got a razor report on the Merkur progress, and I have what I'm calling a software spotlight on the Moon Soap Havana. These are both excellent products. I've had really great shaves with both of them. Very pleased to be able to bring them to you today and go into a little bit of depth. Not too much, hopefully. I'm trying to find the right balance here in these videos, and early days for me still, but luckily it seems like folks have been enjoying what I've been doing, so just going to keep at it and make tweaks as I go, and you know how that goes. Anyway, all right, well, I'm going to start with the razor. So the Merkur brand is actually owned by Dovo, which is another recognizable name in the shaving realm. Dovo does a lot with like shavettes and professional, I guess, barbering tools would be a good way to put it. The first progress, or the progress, was initially introduced in 1955, and I believe it was one of the first adjustable razors available. There was the Gibbs, which I think is from a few decades prior, but if I'm not mistaken, this is certainly one of the most long-lived, if not one of the earliest. So it's been in continuous production since 1955. The first model, from what I could tell, in addition to the plastic knob on the bottom, which may have been Bakelite at the time, also had this base plate, instead of being metal, was plastic as well. So, or Bakelite. I have to imagine that if you could find one of those, that they would be pretty valuable. But I certainly haven't seen any come up for auction. I'm sure they're out there, but so a few more details. This features a brass handle, die-cast zinc razor head, galvanized surfaces, and a bright chrome plating on all of the metal parts, as well as this iconic plastic adjustment knob on the bottom. Sort of a polarizing thing. Either you love it or you hate it, I guess. To the point where there have been companies that will actually take these and modify them, put a metal knob on. There's called the Merkur, I believe. And I'll link to that in the description so that you can take a look at them. There are also Etsy sellers, and probably elsewhere too, but I've seen on Etsy where there are people who 3D print different knobs for this. So you'd actually be able to take this knob off and put a different style on. They have ones that look like flare tips from like a Gillette, or just different shapes, different colors, things like that. So if you didn't like this, but you did like the razor, you can at least replace that and have something that was more to your liking. There are a couple different versions for sale. This is the 500 model, which is the short handle. There is a 510, which is essentially the same razor, but with the longer handle. So it's a little bit longer and a little bit heavier, as you'd expect. There's also a 570 model, which is the short-handled version in a case, in a nice little sort of custom case, and it also comes with 10 blades. So those are the three that I found. There may be more, but those are the ones that I've seen for sale. Let's go ahead and actually take a look at the Merkur website, just to kind of see if I'm missing anything here. So their price on this is $70. So their dimensions, 4.1 centimeters by 2.6 centimeters by 8.8 centimeters. Okay, so the top of the head is 41 millimeters or 4.1 centimeters. Guessing it's the depth of it is 2.6 centimeters or 26 millimeters, because that's how metric works. It's amazing. And the handle from the top to bottom is going to be 88 millimeters. And I have that in inches as well. And I'll actually go over that. And made in Solingen, Germany. I apologize for butchering that. And as far as I know, has always been manufactured there. And yeah, I think that's about it. And then here's the 510, as I mentioned, and looks like it's $10 more. And actually, let me see how much longer it is. So this was 88. And so that was 88 millimeters, and this one's 105. Or the 510 is 105. Whew, this is tough, folks. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and drop into the top down here so we can take a look. Since I have the weights and measurements, I'm just going to go ahead and skip these for today. No reason to take up the time. So one of the nice things about this is it is a two-piece razor. So you unscrew the bottom, and if you've seen my video on the Yaqi Final Cut, it's a very similar style of razor. So you've got this nice two-piece setup here, and to load a blade, you would simply just take your top cap, let the blade fall down over top, and you can either put it down like this and then let it capture, and you want to, the one thing it's a caveat that you always have to mention in these videos, and I happen to get it right just by luck, but I'm going to take a picture of it and put it in here so you can see it, but I think you can see it here. There is a little triangle on one side, and then also a little line in the top cap. And those need to be on the same side, or else it doesn't function properly. The adjustment doesn't work properly. So anyway, when you put the blade in, I'm going to screw it all the way down, tighten it all the way down, and then that's going to put you on 0 here. And then from there, you can then turn to adjust. Actually, it's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's happening is that the top of the razor is getting further away from the base plate. So it's increasing the blade exposure as you tighten or as you loosen the bottom, essentially. This also comes apart for cleaning. I'm not going to do it right now, but this just, once this is unscrewed and the top is off, there's a little tensioner. I don't know what you'd call it. It's a little collar that sort of is holding this mechanism in place. You just simply pull and it will pop out, and then you're able to clean everything and lubricate and do whatever you need to do. Not something you need to do every single time, but it is nice to know that it's possible to do and actually pretty easy to do. So the other thing I'll mention is that the weight is much more substantial than I was expecting. I had considered buying one of these for a while, and just didn't, because I don't know, there's something about the look of it that I thought it was going to be tinny. To my pleasant surprise, this is much heavier than I was expecting. The effect of that is that it makes it feel very substantial, and even though it's a little on the small side, it's got a lot of weight to it, and it really has a very nice balance in the hand because of it. So I've had a few different shaves with this so far, and I've had really good shaves with it, exceptional shaves actually, with zero irritation. You're going to see in the shave coming up how well that went. The other thing to mention is there is some overhang with the tabs here, which I don't mind that, because it helps you hold on to it and adjust the knob. So there you go. I think that's about everything I've got for the razor. Let's go ahead and jump back and take a look at our software spotlight. So if we jump over to About Moon, what we find out is that it's a husband and wife team. It's a partnership. She had been making, she being Melody, had been making cold process soap as well as body products for, I think over 10 years. And then they decided, the husband Zachary decided to join her and try making a shave soap. And their first product was Old School. And apparently they put a lot of effort into making that the best it could be. And by all accounts, it is a fantastic soap. I have not tried Old School myself. And the one that I'm looking at today, obviously, is Havana. One thing I'll mention too while I'm here is, in addition to, so Havana is a tallow-based soap They have another tallow-based soap that has the inclusion of, I believe, grapeseed oil. Then that is adds a different sort of element to it. And then they have a cream, so their amaretto special is a cream as well as tobacco flower. So they've got 3 different bases, if you will, here, and 8 different scents. So I have Havana. I believe I have Old School on the way, and I'd also really like to try Warmest Regards, those and Tobacco Flower, and probably all of them. Honestly, from my experience with Havana has been so positive that I would probably want to try. I actually just like to try them all. So anyway, so Havana is intoxicatingly fresh, masculine scent, mix of tobacco and bergamot with the middle notes of vetiver, spice, musk, warm vanilla, and aged teakwood. And yeah, it is just a really fantastic. The formula is great. The way that it whips up the way that you can hydrate the lather, just all of it is really fantastic. And just the fragrance itself, it's just so wonderful. It's a very nice sort of soft. Yeah, it's very soft, and actually kind of reminds me like the softness level of something like a CK6 from PAA, something like that. So, it's very, very, very pliable, very easy to just scoop out. And I've just been scooping little bits of it out. It doesn't take very much. And you're going to see in my shave video just how thick and wonderful this and creamy this lather can be with just a tiny bit of soap. So I really can't say enough good things about it. I'm not trying to overdo it. I mean, genuinely, I've got a lot of different new soaps that have come in recently, and I still keep finding excuses to come back and use this soap. I've enjoyed using it that much. It's just I'm sure you've had it happen to you, but you'll get a soap that sort of sticks in your head, the fragrance of it, and you just have to go back and crack the tub open and smell it. And I find myself doing that with this quite a bit. So I'm a big fan of this soap, the fragrance and the performance, and I believe that the others will also be just as good. Hopefully, I'm going to find out. All right. So that sets the stage. I've got the wonderful razor, the wonderful soap, and of course, you probably already know that I love these Tatra blades. They are, for me, just one of the best, sort of the middle ground between smoothness and sharpness. And so this is really set up to be a great shave. So let's go ahead and get to that. Hey, there's that guy doing the thing with the Havana soap from Moon. Such a great soap. Putting that in my DS Cosmetics bowl. I'm going to whip that up with a 22 millimeter Yaqi Ever Helpful brush, which I think is a very funny name for a brush, since it's supposed to be like Ever Ready. That was the Merkur Progress, the 500 model, the short handle with a Tatra Platinum blade. And I believe I'm starting on setting 3. Yep. So I'm going to skip through making the soap here. I'm making long cuts. I just wanted to show a couple of the progression of it as I was going, and sort of trying to make these videos a little shorter. I know they've started to get a little bit longer. Each one's another minute longer, and then before you know it, they're 40 minutes long, and nobody needs that. So anyway, yeah, this lather, you heard it hit the floor. It's nice and wet. That was a good bloop. That was a 5 foot up bloop since I'm sitting down. I believe I'm sitting in this one. I think I have the stool. Yeah, I would guess so. Anyway, I got a stool to make it easier for me to shave, and it does help. This soap, I mean, I try not to sound overly enthusiastic. You know, I know everybody is excited about new products when they get them, but honestly, I've had this soap, I don't know, for maybe a month, and I've used it, I think, 5 times, and that's a pretty high percentage of times that I've used it, considering how many other soaps that I've had. Tons of samples come in and a couple other tubs of things, and there's just so many different options, and yet somehow this Moon Soaps Havana keeps finding its way back into my shaves. It's just such a great soap. I really, really, really enjoy the fragrance, and the making the lather is just easy. It just works really, really well. And you can, I mean, I'm able to get it so hydrated. Yeah, very enjoyable. Everything about it is just pleasurable to use. Not to mention the fact that it's also $20 for 6 ounces, which is, a good price for that amount of soap. Their tubs are really nice too. I I know I've already showed some of this stuff at the beginning of the video, but just making note of it where it's relevant here. Yeah, good stuff. If you haven't tried Moon, I definitely think it's worth, giving it a shot. I definitely got this one wet. It's heavy, and it's kind of just falling off the brush, but it's working well, no doubt. It's a cushion. All right, so I think I'm taking it down to maybe. No, I think maybe I left it on 3 for the across the grain. Yeah. So the progress, I had held off buying this razor. Again, I know I'm repeating myself a little bit from the beginning, but I had held off buying this razor. I kept looking at it, and it's been around for forever, essentially, as far as razors go. The fact that it's being sold still, the same model. There's been some changes throughout the years, but the fact that it's still the Merkur Progress and still being sold is really impressive, and that says a lot. I don't know. I just, looking at it, the shiny metal, the plastic knob, it didn't look substantial. I thought it was going to feel like a stamped. I'm sure you've had those metal objects that are stamped and creased. The edge is creased together, and not that it's necessarily doesn't feel like a solid product, but in terms of razors, I guess we're also used to thick, heavy razors, stainless razors and the modern razors. So I looked at this and I thought, there's no way I'm going to enjoy using it as much as a modern razor. And I've been completely wrong about that. I mean, from the moment that I started using it, honestly, the first swipe, it was just like, oh, okay, I get it. Feels really, really good in the hand. So, I don't think there's anything I don't like about it. Honestly, I even like the cream-colored handle, the knob. I thought maybe it would look a little old-fashioned, but honestly, it suits the razor. It's meant to be that way. You can get Mergress, I think is what they call them, but there are customized versions where essentially they replace the knob on the bottom, take the plastic one off, and put a metal knob on. And I'm sure it adds some weight and changes the aesthetic a little bit. Maybe makes it a little more modern looking, but I don't know. I think the plastic is kind of the way it's supposed to be, if I'm being a purist about it. You can also get 3D printed knobs off of Etsy. I know there's one seller in particular that sells a couple different varieties. You can make it look like a flare tip. There's some different shapes, and then each shape comes in multiple colors. So if you do get a Progress, or if the reason you're not getting a Progress is because you think the knob is not appealing, then there are options, either ready-made options that you can buy or ones that you could buy yourself and retrofit. And I'll link to those things in the description in case you're interested. I know Bull Goose has the Mergress. I think they're the ones that sell them. Not sure if they're sold anywhere else. And I'll find that Etsy seller and link to the person that's printing the 3D knobs. But yeah, the adjustability is great. The loading a 2-piece razor. This was one of my first 2-piece razors, and it's really a very easy process in my opinion compared to a 3-piece. And yeah, the way it feels in your hand, it's got a really nice weight to it. If you don't like the short one, they have the long version. It's pretty much covers all the bases, and it has a very smooth, refined quality to it. So, all right, so I did my third pass on setting 2. Now I'm doing my pickup on setting 5. I just opened it all the way up. And that's usually how I do pickups, is to sort of open it all the way up. Because you're just trying to catch those little bits of hair. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like if it's down too low, I'm not really catching them. And I'd rather just go over it a few times than have to keep going back over it and over it and over it. So yeah, absolutely great shave all around. Let's give it the Alum Test and see if there's any irritation. I don't think there was, but let's see. Oh, I'm guessing that's a good sign. Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
All right, nothing. That's great.
Wow.
There aren't a lot of razors where I do my full, against the grain on the neck pass and all that with zero irritation. Most razors I have at least a little bit of irritation, and I'm usually okay with that. That's the trade-off I'm willing to make, is a little bit of irritation under my chin, under my jawline on the neck in order to have BBS. So, but in this case, I had the best of all of it. Great soap, great razor, great blade, great shave, no irritation. And the post shave, I'm putting on some Hendrix Classics and Company, their White Star line of balm, which is very nice, not greasy at all. Yeah, great shave. This was a
very good shave.
Very good. Okay, well, there you go. As I mentioned, I figured all those parts together would make up a great shave, and they certainly did. I had just a wonderful all-around shave. The brush is really fun. I should have brought it. I don't have it near me, so it's not going to make it into the video. But that little Yaqi Ever Helpful is a fun brush, especially for being so small. It surprised me how much I liked it. And yeah, the razor, the soap, just everything really came together, and I really enjoyed that shave. So if you have not tried the Progress and you're on the fence about it, I don't have any hesitation in recommending that you give it a shot, especially if you can find one maybe secondhand or borrow one to try out, from a friend or something. It just, for that $70, it feels like the type of thing that's never going to go wrong. That I'm just going to have this razor forever. There's just nothing that I can see in here that's going to break and cause problems. So anyway, I think it's worth a try. I also give this a hearty thumbs up. The Moon Soaps Havana. If you like a tobacco fragrance, I think this is a really, really nice one. And also the performance is just really, really good. So yeah, I am enthusiastically recommending both of these things. If you're sort of been on the fence or looking to try something new or different, maybe give them a shot. So anyway, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. even if you did skip around, that's okay. That's what the chapter markers are there for. And I'm thrilled that you would choose to spend this time with me, and hope to see you again in another video, hopefully coming very soon. So anyway, have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. Happy shaves to you, and see you again soon. All right. Bye-bye.